Hey guys, welcome to Sexy Sisters minus a sister. So we're going to be having Pikachu fill in for Jenna until she feels better. Already, we got a super chat. Backhand, thank you so much for the $10 and for love and hugs. I love it. You are fantastic. Thank you so much, Backhand. So we're literally just getting started. Jenna's still not feeling very great. She had COVID. She's been out for a couple of weeks, and she says she's still having symptoms where she doesn't want to come and get Nick sick. Nick gets sick really easily. His immune system is butt. So if he gets sick, he's going to be out for God only knows how long. So it was nice of her not to, want to get anyone sick or do anything like that. Plus, she needs to rest and feel 100% better and not try to push herself. And then prolong the healing and all of that kind of stuff. So tonight, and I thought about just not doing it at all and getting caught up on some work stuff, but I missed you guys and we didn't go live last week. So live YouTube this week. Again, we got Pikachu filling in. I'll give you guys on an update on our place. And I know that I won't talk too much about this, but I'm so excited because, and I know that this is going to sound really stupid, but I got curtains put up in our bedroom, and there's something about having curtains up in a room that just finishes the room. It finishes it. It looks amazing. I'm so happy with it. I mean, there's still some more stuff that needs to get done. I have to hang up a mirror. I'm going to hang some more art in there. But for the most part, the bedroom is done, which is just, I don't know. For me, it's just really, really exciting. And then my next project I've decided to tackle, maybe I'll do it live if anyone's interested or film it, is this wall. I have to do this wall. I've settled on an idea of what I'd like to do with the wall. I just have to go get some materials. I have to get some paint. I have to get, basically what I'm going to do is to give the wall some texture, I'm going to give it like a grid box pattern using trim. Andrew Thomas, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You were so sweet. Happy Thirsty Thursday to the most sexy and kindest schoolgirl, Zia. You're very sweet. Tell my future wife that I care about her and hope she feels better. Andrew, I will 100% pass that message along to Jenna. I know she'll appreciate it. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. Question in the chat too. They're not blackout curtains. They're just regular curtains, but we don't get a lot of light coming in from behind us because that's not really where the sun rises, I guess. We don't get a ton of light on that side anyway. There's trees blocking it. So I think that they're enough that it'll block out enough light that we'll be able to sleep in a little bit more. But yeah, I thought it would definitely be fun to do this live. I'm going to get panels of trim and I'm going to put it in a grid box pattern. And then I'm going to paint this a darker gray, like a very dark gray. I'll put a couple of floating shelves up here, and then I have decided I think we can make it work even with the way that this is framed. Just a little XiaLand sign right in here. I think it'll work. It'll be a light up one depending on where I plug it in. I think that's the only thing. I have to run a cord down and then through there. But I think it'll look really nice. I think it's going to look great. And then we have curtains in here and pretty much all the art's going to be up. And then the upstairs will be kind of done. Yay. So that's the update. It's a silly update. But on to the show, on to the podcast, on to the stream. We have some fun news stories that I like to go over. I don't read a lot of these beforehand, so it's fun for me as well because I get to react live with you guys. So, oh boy, I just saw the title of this. I'm not going to ruin the story with the title, but let's read this. And oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay. Oh, there's a photograph. These family, I don't know if we can show that either. Producer Nick is not sure we can show this photo. I don't know if we can show this photo. They're living their naked truth is the first line. A British couple is speaking out about their plans to spend the festive season in the buff, claiming they won't even put on clothes when their relatives call around. This sounds very much like this is in England somewhere. Helen Berryman is set to host her mother, 75, and her daughter, 15, for lunch on Christmas Day, where she will sit naked alongside her husband, Simon. They are naked. Some people do look at us like we're completely mad, especially when they find out we host Christmas, but we're all about accepting your body and everybody feeling comfortable. Does everybody feel comfortable seeing you naked? And look, I'm not judging too much, but this is, my teenage daughter and my mom both totally accept our lifestyle, and they really don't think twice now when we answer the door in all of our glory. That's the way they put it, in all of their glory. Oh, boy.
There's got to be one I could.
Nick is trying to find, you could maybe get away with posting that one. Here's a photo that Nick is trying to post. This is going to be hard to post any of them. So they're obviously all blurred because this is a New York Post article and they're not going to just post complete nudity.
I'll just do this and hope for the best.
Daniel said, I know the state of England. We don't need to see it. That's hilarious. So yeah, they're not in terrible shape, but they're not in great, like they're not fat.
With your mom and then your daughter?
They're not in great shape. Yeah, so that's the interesting thing to me. I don't know. I'm cool with bodies and like being open about your body, and I didn't grow up in like feeling ashamed of my body or feeling like in a prudish household at all. I grew up on a tropical island. People don't wear a lot of clothes there because why would you? It's hot a majority of the time. People are at the beach. Like I lived in bathing suits for weeks at a time when we'd go camping. To me, bodies are nothing, but it's not a big deal. I don't think it's like, oh my God, a kid, how could you walk around like that? Don't you know that there are children present? Like kids aren't thinking of it in a sexual way either. Kids aren't like, oh my God, a girl in a bathing suit. That's a butt.
There they are.
There they are. But it's the full nudity is a little tough. I understand why you would be kind of apprehensive about full nudity around your kids. My stepmom used to walk around naked and I didn't really think anything of it. But my dad never walked around naked, and there are certainly like when you're little, you shower with your parents, but I don't ever remember seeing my dad naked, so I know that must have stopped at a pretty reasonable age. Like I think by the time we started realizing like, oh, my dad was like, yeah, I can't shower with my kids anymore. It was when we were babies. He'd take us in, or like little toddlers. So I don't know. That's a bit much. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Because I'm curious. I don't know. That's a little much for me. And I am very like open with bodies and I don't think it's a big deal. But you know what? Maybe we all think what's normal to us is what's normal, right? And there's always some other person who's going to be like, that's obscene. You should wear turtlenecks everywhere or cover yourself up, right? Think about people in the Middle East. Women shouldn't show any part of their body. So I don't know. Maybe this is just me being judgmental. Maybe I'm being judgmental. You never want to see Nick naked. I'm actually kind of with Lucy. Bare asses on leather chairs. Ew. Yeah, it's not great. That, you know what? That's a good point too. You don't need to have it, pun intended, waved in your face. That's one of those things. It's like, all right, I love you, Dad, but I don't need to see your dick flopping around all over the place. Like, hey, Ma, I don't know, slap on some shorts. If you want to be shirtless, I guess, but just slap on something. Maybe something to cover up that wang. It's not most people's setup, but it works for us. We'll exchange gifts, play some party games, and raise a glass. Just a completely normal Christmas day. It's just that Simon and I won't have any clothes on. You know what I love, what I'm noticing, by the way they're talking and the way the article is written? Look at her and Simon. Oh, my.
So they're like that with their mom and their daughter.
So this is what I was going to say. What I'm noticing as I'm reading this is they're the only two partaking in this. The mom and the daughter, like, yeah, they're cool with it maybe, but they're also not getting naked either. So it's just the two of them being like, look, this is just what we do. You have to deal with it, which I find kind of weird. Clearly no one else is in on this. Berriman began dating Simon back in 2015 and was initially confused by the fact that he was a nudist. Here we go. Oh, Terry. Hey, come on. I bet someone wants to see it, and someone would. Here it is. Here it is. I see this a lot in relationships, and I don't think there's anything wrong with understanding your partner's lifestyles or enjoying the way that they live or enjoying their hobbies. There's nothing wrong with that. I've seen this happen a lot, though. One partner meets another partner and one partner's vegan, for example. And then suddenly, this was totally not aimed at anyone in particular. In fact, I wasn't even thinking about why you were laughing. Producer Nick needs a mic anyway. All right, Nick's got a...
Are you talking about your co-host Jenna, who magically became vegan into real estate because of her boyfriend?
Well, she's not vegan, first of all.
Yeah, but she kind of has to deal with that now 24/7.
Well, she has to deal with it because he's vegan. But no, that's absolutely not the first thing that came to my mind.
Just popped in your head like that.
No, you know what's really funny? I was actually thinking of 2 coworkers I used to work with back in LA. I found out recently, or not recently, but I found out when we were talking one time that he was vegan and she wasn't when they met. She was not vegan at all. So that was just my example. I totally wasn't thinking of Jenna. Nick starts laughing, of course. And then suddenly the other partner goes hardcore into veganism. I don't know. I see it happen a lot. So this is not surprising that, you know, he was a nudist and now she is too. At the time, the single mom was managing an optometrist office and living a conventional life while fully clothed. Look, I like being naked as much as the next person, but if my little brother's coming over, I'm putting clothes on. My little brother's so cute. I love him. He's so sweet. So we're out to dinner with my stepmom and my little brother. And my little brother is so supportive of me and he's so sweet and he loves me and we talk often and, you know, we have a great relationship. But of course, of what I do, he knows what I do. I'm not hiding it from my family. I refuse to. Luckily, my family aren't a bunch of judgmental dickheads, so it's not a problem. They all love me and they all support me. And guess what? Our relationship is exactly the same as before I did what I did. So I don't know. It's not an issue. Anyway, but my little brother is so cute. He's like, yeah, I'm really sorry I don't follow your XiaLand account, but you know, sometimes I open it up and I see things I don't want to see. I was like, he's like, you understand, right? I was like, of course. Like, just because you love me and support me doesn't mean that you want to see your sister half naked. In suggestive poses. Of course I understand that you don't follow me there. I still love you. It was really cute though. I was back to the article. I was concerned as to whether it bothered my daughter, but when I asked her, she said it really didn't bother her at all, the mom explained. When I was furloughed in 2020, I realized that Simon worked from home naked anyway, and then he started being naked in the back garden in full view of the neighbors. I was mortified, but then I realized that they really didn't care. It seems like no one cares. And then I realized if they don't care, why should I, she added. You know, I'm going to be honest. If I saw my neighbors naked, I wouldn't care either. I would not give 2 fucks. I'd be like, all right, there they are. Soon after, Berriman went along to a nude painting event where she subsequently stripped off. Ooh. While I was having a cup of tea with everyone. Should I do this in the British accent? No. I was so relaxed and I realized they were just a lovely, normal bunch of people, she declared. I decided to whip my dress off too, and amazingly, nothing bad happened. Nobody was sick and nobody was judging. Good for her. The mom soon decided to discard her clothes on a permanent basis, quitting her job at the optometrist's office to start writing for a naturist magazine. All right, I'm here for this lady. I realized I'd wasted 20 years of my life worrying about what people think I should be wearing, she declared. Everyone has scars and stretch marks. It's just nice not to have to worry about covering them up.
Your mom, 70, your daughter's 15. That's weird.
Look, I'm with Nick on this. I wouldn't get naked in front of my family. But I'm kind of, James, thank you so much, aka Charming J. I know exactly who you are, you damn gem, you. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Jenna will be back next week. I know. I'm sad that she's not here, but she got the COVID. She got the vid, and she's super sweet and doesn't want to get anyone sick, and she's also not feeling super great. Reese, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh my goodness, you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Haven't slept in 2 days. Reese, you need to get some sleep. And the NyQuil PMs, Bud, and whiskey may take me down soon. Have a great show, Zia. Hey, Nick. Shame the birds are going to have to smash the little people to snap their 2-game skid. Oh, no. Are the Eagles playing the Giants next? The Giants are screwed. The Eagles are having a real good season. That's true. They are already in the playoffs.
They might not play anybody.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Reese, I hope you get some sleep. Not sleeping in 2 days is rough. I hope you get some awesome sleep. I'm not offended if you fall asleep during the show, especially I kind of like that people fall asleep to my stuff. Is that weird? Because I do that to streamers and people that I like. I'll play their stuff as I'm falling asleep. Nick does it. I don't know what it is. It's really flattering. So thank you. And thank you, Charming Jay. Oh my goodness, you guys. So yes, Jenna will be back next week. Yay! Go ahead.
One last photo of the mom.
All right, Nick's got one last photo of the mom. Is everybody ready? The nudist mom, yes. Oh, well. Good for her. Good for her. I suppose. I wouldn't do that around family. But I understand what she means, the whole thing of like being free and why should I care? There's this one girl that I follow. Insomnia is terrible. I'd struggle with it too, and it's fucking awful. There are some weeks where I'm just a mess because I can't sleep and I hate it. There's this one girl that I follow. Her name is not Peach Stars. I love Peach Stars too, though. Her name is Maggie. Mags IRL. She used to be Oh My God Mags or Oh My God Cosplay. She also does OnlyFans as well. And I follow her on there too. She has, and I've heard her talk about this before. She's stunning, like absolutely stunning. She's so beautiful. Her body is fantastic. She's sexy as hell. She's talked about how she's like, I know my body's not for everyone because it's got a lot of texture, whatever it is. She has stretch marks on the inside and the outside of her legs, and it's very prominent. Like you can see it every single time she posts certain photos. And I just love her so much for not giving a crap and posting them anyway. And she'll post, and she's just so like confident. And to me, I look at it and I'm like, she's so beautiful. It just, whether they're there or not, to me, I don't care. I think she's beautiful either way. And it makes me feel so much better. That's her. And so much more confident, just being like, wow. Nobody's bodies are perfect. No one's. Everyone has stretch marks, scars, veins. Like that's normal. Terry, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Happy Easter to you, sexy sausages. I don't know why I love that so much, but I love it. Though I am missing a sausage. She'll be back next week. Hang on, I mean the show. Twat waffling fluff nuggets.
So that's her.
That's her. I don't know what. I just love her so much. She's a big inspiration to me with what I do, and I know that sounds really cheesy, but it is. Twat waffling fluff nuggets. I just love that so much. I just found out my ex's mom has an OnlyFans account. Good for her. You should support. Actually, I mean, unless that's weird, I don't know. But support her. But yeah, that's Maggie, and she's such an inspiration because she just posts stuff all the time, and she does. She has stretch marks, and she's talked about it before, and I just think that I think it's awesome. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and it makes me feel 1,000 times better because there are so many people who post edited photos, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. Excuse me. There's anything wrong with that either, but you have to realize that like you're looking at these beautiful women, and it's not to take away from their beauty, the fact that the photos are edited. They're still beautiful regardless. But they don't look like that. Like no one looks airbrushed. That's in a photo. There are always imperfections. There's blemishes. There's going to be like little veins here and there. There's going to be some stretch marks. They're going to have, it's
Scars all over your knee.
I do have scars. Yeah, I have scars all over my legs. And sometimes it bothers me. There are some times where I'm like, oh my God. But I had such a rough childhood growing up. I was very tomboyish is what I'm saying. Like I grew up playing outside in the dirt, climbing trees, very rough with my cousins who are all boys. Like I didn't grow up as a girlish sort of girl at all. So I wrecked my legs. I fell down all the time. I had cuts, I had scrapes, I had bruises. I was just rough on my body because I was having fun. I wouldn't take it back because I spent my childhood playing outside. My uncle used to make us bow and arrows out of tree branches. Like my childhood was awesome. I had a freaking blast. So I wouldn't take back the scars on my legs because they're all from having fun as a kid, you know? So I don't know. Backhand always has something sweet to say about me. He's so nice. And yeah, Daniel, to be honest, I don't care how the body looks. It's all in the face for me. And personality too is a huge thing. But yeah, I'm with you on that, Daniel. I'm kind of the same with guys. Like, sure, you notice a nice body and you're like, wow, that's an attractive body. But when it comes to someone that I want to be with or like care about, the body plays very little into it for me. Like very little. I don't know. So yeah. Andrew, I don't think the hole in your chest should bother you. The dent. I understand why it does. And I'm not telling you like, oh, it shouldn't bother you because your feelings are valid and it does bother you. But that's just part of who you are. And it doesn't have anything to do with you as a person, you know? Okay, here's another story that Nick has up. Since we're talking about bodies and this kind of stuff.
I'm afraid everything's gonna freeze again.
Nick's worried that everything is gonna freeze again. Let's hope it doesn't.
Okay.
It's freaking out a little bit. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, here's another one.
Let me get the photo.
Nick's gonna get the photos. This is I'm just gonna say right now, we got a MILF on our hands. We got a MILF coming up on the screen. Nick's gonna pull this out.
I gotta throw them in a program. You can't save them to like web files or whatever.
Yeah, Nick has to throw them in a program because you can't save them. They're web files. Wow, Reese had my bottom lip stitched back together and both eyelids stitched up. And you know what? That's part of who you are. That's part of your story. And scars on guys are like straight up hot. I'm just gonna say it. A scar on a guy it's hot.
That's weird.
It's not weird. Okay. So,
Whenever you're ready.
I'm getting into the story. This is about another. Look, I am a huge advocate for being comfortable in your body. This one already, to me, I'm here for. The Body Bearing Beauty says that there are no rules for how moms should dress, and she's making sure everyone knows it. Krista Feth took to TikTok last week to share a provocative video that showed her clad in a thong bikini while holding hands with her young son. I am going to go ahead and say that this is not a provocative video. This is her at the beach in a bikini.
You gotta explain Hawaii.
Okay, so I guess I have to explain. In Hawaii, everyone wears Brazilian or thong bikinis. That's just what everyone wears. There's no, like, you go to the beach, no one's wearing those weird big bathing suits that everybody here on the mainland, or not everyone, that people I've seen here on the mainland wear. Nobody's wearing a one piece. So I grew up like that. And again, comfortable with it. You see someone in a bikini and you're like, oh, that's a bathing suit. They're at the beach. Zero issues. So to me, this means nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. But again, it's because of my upbringing, I suppose. The mother of four wow, she's a mother of four. She's in great shape for having 4 kids. The mother of 4 bent over in the skimpy garment, showing off her derriere and inciting outrage among some viewers. Motherhood didn't come with a dress code. Flashing Faith defiantly declared in the controversial clip, which has clocked over 5 million views. And an additional caption, the brunette explained that she's a dedicated, down-to-earth mom and that her clothing choice has no bearing on her parenting abilities. I agree. I'm a homeschooling, crunchy, natural mama. I do hate that. Who's built my entire existence around my children, she stated. I just also happen to be incredibly comfortable in my own skin. Good for her. Honestly. Feth further... Terry, thank you so much for the super chat. You're so freaking sweet. I just watched a Simpcast discussing stalkers and weirdos. Henceforth, I shall try to refrain from flirting to the herb. Wait. Terry, you are never creepy, and I never get creepy stalkery vibes from you. And Jenna doesn't either. She loves you. She adores you. So I don't think that you have anything to worry about. You're definitely not that weird dude on Twitter who Melanie's stalker. Good Lord. Exactly. What, she's supposed to stop being hot because she's got kids? I think not. Goddamn straight, Reese. She further claimed that her outfits might even encourage her young boy to be more open-minded in the future. This is what I'm hoping for, damn it. Be open-minded. These weird dudes I get dudes who comment stuff like that on my photos of being like, have some respect for yourself. Bitch, I do have respect for myself. I take care of my body. I exercise. I try to get adequate sleep. I'm in a good relationship. I have a great relationship with my family. What does me showing off I'm self-censoring. I'm doing my best here. YouTube's getting weird with that stuff, but does me showing my body have to do with self-respect? I hate that argument because it's the dumbest one I've ever heard. Have some respect. How about I have enough respect for myself that I don't let idiots talk to me like that? Goodbye, blocked, fucking muted, out of here. And then I just dropped the F-bomb. Dang it. It's really hard to do. Okay, so anyway. I doubt my son will ever think to tell a woman what she should wear. Thank you. He's got a mama and 3 sisters, she said. Lord knows I'm not for everyone, and I don't care to be. Good for her. This woman, I love her. Despite being comfortable in her tiny clothing, Feth was hit with a hail in the comments section beneath her video. Of course, there's always some idiot who has something to say. The amount of attention you need is very, very sad, friend. One user declared. Ay. Nothing wrong with a little class, added another. All right, so what's class going to, a one piece going to the beach? Shut up. However, some users defended the hot mama, saying she's allowed to wear whatever she wants. She is. She absolutely is. You're teaching your kids to be comfortable in their own skin and to be confident, one cheered. You keep doing you, mama. Look, I hate mama. I don't know why. I hate that word. It bothers the ever-living crap out of me. But that doesn't take away the fact that I am for this woman and she should absolutely keep doing what she's doing. Andrew, I'm sure we would see you at a con. So, yeah, basically that's incredibly obnoxious when people do that stuff. Reese, yes, that's it, absolutely right. So interesting. Feminism went from burn your bras to cover your ankles. Crazy backstep. I don't know what happened and I don't know why. But people should be comfortable in their bodies and they should be like, and I'm not saying that you have to show your off, excuse me? Religion. Yeah, Nick's always says it's always religion. I'm not going to go down I'm guaranteed to piss off a lot of people if I talk about religion, so I'm not going to. But my thoughts on it are not particularly kind. What was I going to say? And I also don't advocate for every woman having to show off her body. I think you need to do what you're comfortable doing. If you're not comfortable showing off your body, don't. I'm not saying every woman has to go out there in mini skirts. If you feel more comfortable wearing long sleeves and like whatever you're comfortable in, wear. For the love of God, wear what you want to wear.
But does that child have a choice? You're taking the choice away from that child.
Oh my God, I can't stop
You're corrupting him with your booty.
With my booty.
You know what's weird though? It's that, because most people are not wearing those type of, thongs to the beach, especially with their kid. It's frowned upon. But like you said, Hawaii, it's normal. Brazil, normal.
There are a lot of parts of the world.
Normal. But here, like, say, okay, Iran, you let your ankles show, you're being hung. Exactly. So it depends where you are and how people think. So if it's not common here, of course it's going to create, a stir.
But it's interesting that people can't understand that, right? So there are certain things we know are bad.
It's my way or the highway. Jesus said so.
Oh, I love Reese. I'll say it. Religion is the death of faith. Ooh. We're talking about, God, that made me feel some kind of way. Joshua, we are talking. Hi, Greg Schmidt. Hi, I'm such a heathen. That'll never stop. We're talking about basically, women wearing certain types of, she has a son, but she wears a thong to the beach. And I won't go back into my rant over it. But again, I'm from Hawaii. I was born and raised there. People are super comfortable not wearing a lot of clothes, again, because it is a tropical island. So I'm used to that. To me, it is not a big deal. But it's interesting, right? That people can't take a step back and sort of understand the societal implications of why they think the way they think. And is it serving you to feel that way, right? Love Hawaii. Terry McCain, Terry, thank you so much for the super chat. Fear not, if I was ever to fly to America for a con, I shall apologize profusely for approaching you, then apologize for wasting your time. You are so unbelievably sweet. Please don't do that. Please don't apologize. And please don't feel bad about coming to say hi. I've only done a few cons where people have come up and said hi. Well, I've only done a few cons. And people have come up to say hi to me. And everybody's been so sweet and so kind. And I love talking to them. So don't ever feel bad. I would love to see you. I would love to see you and say hi. So, and it's just interesting, right? So if you think about it, there are sort of universal things. Oh, 6 years in Kauai. Nice. That is awesome. There are some, I was born and raised on the Big Island. Sorry, that's what I was going to say. There are some universal things that we know are bad, right? Murder. Universally, you can know that's bad. If something's a part of culture, like marrying off child brides or human sacrifice, we all can take a look at that. And in their culture, you're like, oh, this is my culture, but that's messed up. No, you can't do that. It's nice to meet other islanders. I very rarely get to do that. But at the same time, there are certain things like, is it serving you to be judgmental of someone's body? There are tribes of people who walk around completely, where the women are completely topless. To you, it's crazy, but to them, it's commonplace. Why does it bother you so much is my point. Terry, thank you so much for the super chat. Terry's so sweet. Then apologize to Nick for talking to his wife, then apologize for my existence, then apologize for apologizing, then apologize for something.
I wouldn't be there.
Terry, Nick says, oh, I wouldn't be there. No
worries.
Nick, yeah, he says, so no worries. Nick doesn't do anything that I do. He's like never at any of those things. And second of all, I'm exactly the same. I apologize constantly. MK Solid, thank you so much for the super chat. I do read my OnlyFans messages. I read all of them. And I answer all of them. But if I haven't gotten to yours right away, it's likely because it's like up there on my list. I was for a long time, trying to get to a point where I was answering every message every day. And then I realized very quickly that I couldn't do that. And I was stressing myself out because I'm like, oh my God, I don't hire anyone. I don't have anyone help message me. I don't have an assistant to do any of that. I do all of it myself. And I love doing it so much. But I was getting so stressed out where I was like, oh my God, I'm like, I can't get to every message. And I was like freaking out about it. And then I realized, and I talked to some other girls who do the same thing, obviously who do OnlyFans as well. And they were like, look, you're not going to be able to get to every message every single day unless you hire someone. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. So what I try to do is every 2 days, I go through my oldest messages first, and then I get caught up until whatever it says yesterday. And then I go through and I answer those afterwards. So basically my whole thing was I can't get to every message every day, but I answer messages every day. And then I go through and get to the other ones. So that's... So I swear to God, if you've messaged me, I am going to get to it, and I will. And actually, I'm going to, after dinner tonight, have to answer some because I didn't get a chance to earlier. But I do. I promise I do. I think it's funny. It's more work than people realize it is. I love doing the work, and I don't want me to sound like, oh my God, it's so much work. I hate doing it, because I don't. I love doing it. I love doing it so much. It's so fun. It's very time consuming. So that's all it is. It takes a lot of time to like run your page and run it properly. And then with the move in the house, I'm still just getting caught up. Andrew, I don't know what that means. Oh no. I do have an OnlyFans, and yes, I do customs. In fact, this weekend I'm getting caught up on about 6 customs that I need to shoot. 6, maybe more. And I'm not complaining because I love everyone, but I got to do that this weekend. I agree. A lot of people are so self-centered that anything that breaks from their norm is an attack on their character. That's why people get mad. And that's an excellent way of putting it. I see it on Twitter so much. People are so upset. Like, they want to have a traditional marriage, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. Like, do what you want to do. My best friend has a traditional marriage. She just had a baby. Her life is the exact opposite of my life. And I'm so happy for her. Like, sometimes it makes me want to cry. And I know that sounds cheesy, but I just love her. She's my best friend. And I'm living a complete opposite life to her. And we're still best friends. Like, we talk all the time. She's supportive of everything I do. I'm supportive of everything we do. And we live like almost opposite lives. So this whole thing is just silly of like, porn is ruining our society and hookup culture is the reason that I'm like, just shut up. Just shut up. All of you. I can't. It's so ridiculous. No, that's not ruining society. And here's the other point, right? People are like, well, it's so hard to find someone worth dating or someone who's going to start a life with you because everybody just wants to hook up because of hookup culture. If these people, you don't want to put on too much weight after marriage, but look, yes, Reese, anything in particular you do or don't do. So that's a complicated question that maybe I shouldn't get into on YouTube. But yeah, if you want to message me there, please do. Terry, thank you so much for the super chat. So I have Nick's permission to say hi, LOL. Thanks, Nick. You do seem quite lovely, friendly, kind, and a jolly good egg. I love all of your sayings so much. Glad to find you all. Terry, thank you so much. You also seem like a friendly, kind, and a jolly good egg. So if you ever are in the States, please come say hi to me. Please, please do. Anyone, if you see me at a con, please come say hi to me. Yeah. Well, even if you saw me in a grocery store, I wouldn't be like...
You gotta be careful with
I know you have to be careful with it, but I wouldn't be like, I might be taken aback because I wouldn't expect it. I'd be like, oh my God, someone recognized me at a freaking grocery store. What's happening? But I would still be happy to say hi. Anyway, so it's interesting, right? Like, people are talking about how hookup culture is ruining society. But if these people are out there wanting to sleep with multiple partners, what makes you think if the culture was different, they wouldn't still want to do that?
I also love the idea that
No worries,
young
Josh.
kids just want relationships. When I remember me being young and then talking to other people, it was all about how many people can you get with.
Right.
You know,
right.
so it's not like it's this idea that, oh, it's a hookup culture. No, it's just being young.
It's just being young.
Oh, I want to bang everyone. Oh,
Yeah.
that's everyone who's young.
Yes.
That's hormones going crazy.
Exactly. Exactly. And as you get older, that sort of changes. I have an older friend who I'm not going to oust, but just having out whatever. But I don't do really. I do feed stuff upon request, but never just for funsies. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, who, you know, talked about like doing a lot of stuff when they're younger, but as they've gotten older and they're with one partner, they're like, you know, doing that was all fine and good, but I don't feel the urge to do that as much. And if I do, I know in my mind it's not worth it. So it's, and sort of as you get older, maybe not for everybody, but it tends to calm down a little bit. Reese, Nick's a okay dude. He's all right. He's nice. He's a friendly guy, but he's very awkward in person.
Next story, it shows how something can change you without you realizing.
Oh boy. Nick says this next story shows how something can change you without you realizing. Okay, let's go. I'm so curious. Okay. All right. An Australian woman says that she suddenly found herself feeling frisky for the fairer sex after coming off the contraceptive pill. So she became a lesbian when she went off birth control is basically what that's saying. That's a fancy way of saying she was not a lesbian, and then she went off birth control and she was like, I want to bone women. Tessa Bona, 30. Oh boy, we've got one in the chat. We've got one in the chat. Tessa Bona, 30, was first prescribed the birth control medication when she was 15 years old, with her doctor saying it would help regulate her periods. The Melbourne brunette spent almost a decade and a half taking the pill each day and identified as heterosexual, having only ever dated men. After a breakup with her long-term boyfriend last year, however, Bona decided to quit the contraceptive and suddenly found her eyes drawn to women, she claimed. I had never given women a go romantically. I never really thought it was for me. And the Out and Proud Beauty told news.com/au. But once I got off the pill, everything changed. All of a sudden, men were just not attractive to me. I've heard of this happening before, but that's so wild. Not of this particular thing happening, but how birth control messes with who you're attracted to. And like, you can be attracted to a woman and to a certain type of man, and then you go off birth control and suddenly your type changes completely. I've never heard anything quite this extreme.
They're saying you're wrong type.
Sorry?
You're wrong. I'll just say it. They were saying that the birth control could change the way you look at men, that you actually go after the wrong type of person for you.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and then when you get off of it, it kind of goes back, but it messes that up. So you're actually with someone who you really shouldn't be with.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, super
everyone's
crazy.
on birth control.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were not on birth control when we met. If that makes you feel better.
No.
Or I was not on birth control, rather. Bona says it took her just 3 weeks before she started to develop feelings for women, and she also noticed other significant changes. Oh no, Matt Perkins is salty that I'm not what he thought I was. I don't know why it bothers you whether other people want to hook up or not. I don't think it's a cancer to society. I don't know why you're surprised I feel that way. Have you ever heard me talk about anything before? Second of all, people, that's not hookup culture. That's human nature.
Yeah, it's been like that since the dawn of time. That's why we're here, buddy. Listen, you could live your life any way you want. That's what's great. 100%. And just because another person has a different opinion than yours doesn't mean they're an evil person.
Yeah.
Zia's not out there hooking up with every dude she meets.
No, I'm married.
Yeah, she's married to me.
But I don't care if other people are out there hooking up. And even when I was dating, if a guy was like, oh, I'm just here to hook up, or I'm like, okay, that's not what I want to do, but that's fine. You keep doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And then you moved on from that guy.
And then I moved on from that guy.
It's that simple. Hey, I want to hook up.
Super
hey,
simple.
I want a marriage. Well, you know what? We're not compatible. I'll find somebody else.
Exactly.
Very easy.
Yeah. Super. I've never had an issue with it.
That's like me going up to a Muslim lady and being like, hey, man, I want you to be Catholic. And she's like, well, I'm Muslim. Damn the Muslims. Like, why? That's crazy.
No, it's insane. Like, it's absolutely insane. It's interesting, too. I think maybe because I do certain, I guess I don't really talk about that much, like on other things. You know, when it's my own channel, of course, I talk about different things. Oh boy, God, Reese says that's a good question. Well, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, no, I don't understand. Yeah, if people want to bang, let them bang. And not only that, you think that by changing the culture or whatever, society of forcing everybody to be monogamous, whether they want to or not, or forcing people to not sleep around is going to stop it, because it's not. You know what the fucking stats on cheating are? Oh my God, it's out of control how many people have cheated, have been cheated on, cheat in relationships. It's wild.
Well, that's the weird part I don't understand. So hookup culture, like it's this epidemic.
I don't know.
How do we fix that then? What's like, so I'm guessing takeaway porn, right?
Takeaway porn.
People still are horny. They still want to hook up with people.
Right.
How do you stop them?
Well, so people talk about,
like, is this like gay conversion therapy where we, like a Clockwork Orange, we have to throw a dude in a chair and like pry his eyes open and like, do not hook up. You are not horny anymore. Like, I don't understand how that would change.
It's more so I think I've heard people talk about this a little bit, and I still disagree with it, but their whole stance is you should teach men to be stronger and have more self-control to find a good woman to spend their life with, and the same for women. Terry, thank you so much for the super chat. Hang on, Zia, you're married and you're not going to sleep with me? How dare you? I'm in a huff now. I shall never super chat you again. Terry, you're so sweet.
So they want to take away free will from people.
Yes, that's essentially what they're saying.
So basically you want to be an overlord,
yeah,
and control people like a dictator and say, this is how you should live your life.
Right.
That's insane.
Even though
wait a minute. So
yeah,
hey, you have to follow my rules? Like, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, listen, it's cool if you do it, but geez, that's like some 1984 Orville shit.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's terrifying.
What?
It's so terrifying.
That's literally wear a burqa because I can't control myself.
Yeah.
So they want like hardcore Middle East style, like you got to do everything we say, or guess what? You're being hung or murdered.
I guess. I don't even know.
That's rough, buddy.
I know. I think
that's rough.
It's bizarre, the whole thing, and how porn ruins relationships. And he's like, there's stats on it. Exactly.
You could be drinking and be addicted. That you could ruin a relationship. Doing drugs. Your sister ruined her life with
her
meth.
life and
She's
her
in
relationships.
Jail. Yeah. 2 kids out. No relationships anymore.
Yeah.
All the dudes she was with, no relationship. Family totally screwed that up. And am I gonna blame your sister per se? Yeah.
It's the disease of addiction.
It's the disease, but at the same time, it's like that was her choice.
Yeah.
Do I agree with it? No.
Of course not.
But like, I can't control how people live. It would be nice to be like, hey man, you can't do drugs anymore. But she's gonna still want to do it.
Yeah.
There's no way around that.
Charming Jay said takeaway porn and guys would just jerk off to swimsuit and underwear ads. Yeah.
Yes,
there's
like we were when we were young. I got that Sears catalog. That's all we had.
Right. Like jeez. Before you get internet porn, right?
Before me, there was Anthony Cumia and fucking Jim in the woods looking for people's buried porn. They were just trying to find anything.
Yes.
Take that away, guess what? They'll find anything.
You're not going to get rid of human sexuality.
No.
And it's on a spectrum. It is different for every person. Some people are asexual, so maybe it's easier for them. Some people some people don't have as high of a sexual drive as other people might. Like, it's different for everyone. Who am I to say, hey, you can't go sleep with other people? That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. I would never be so, what's the word I'm looking for? Arrogant to assume that I get to choose that for other people. It's bizarre.
Is that narcissism? Where it's like the way I think is the best way.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
We should all be doing what I'm saying, because guess what? I can save the world.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy to think about. Like,
I know.
You're so like.
There are a lot of people that feel that way for real,
crazy.
though. Like, I spend a lot of time on Twitter, more time than I would like sometimes.
Yo, play Civilization, the video game. Yo, take it out on there.
Right, I know.
Play our strategy game, my friend. Jeez.
Brian, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. People want to just worry about yourself. Exactly. Like, this is not an issue.
People are so horny. They're having sex with their moms, their sister, their cousins.
I know.
I'm not saying that's good, but like that's the.
I know.
Animals,
I
Mr.
know.
Hands. You saw the horse.
I know.
Killed that dude, but he wanted it.
He wanted it. That's what he wanted to do. Being a single male, my sex drive goes back and forth. Yeah, that too. Like, your sex drive also isn't going to be the same all the time. Sometimes you'll want to have sex less. Sometimes you're going to want to have sex more. I wish people would stop demonizing sex and sexuality and pleasure, because you're allowed to find pleasure in eating, right? You're allowed to eat a delicious meal and be like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is so enjoyable. What if someone was like, well, you know what? There's a whole bunch of fat people out there and this is really unhealthy for you. So we're going to ban all foods that aren't super healthy and take and make you have diabetes, whatever it is. Like, you can't.
That happened
crazy.
a little bit. So New York City, Mike Bloomberg was the mayor for a certain number of years, and I don't know if he actually did it or not, but he wanted to put a tax on soda, sugary drinks.
That's crazy.
And people lost their mind. It was like, what do you?
Because you can't do
that. We want to drink soda. We're gonna drink soda, man.
Yes, you can encourage a healthy lifestyle, but you can't make people do that's absolutely insane. Brian, thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you so much for liking. I'm glad you're enjoying my Twitter pictures. I enjoy putting them out there, even though there's some weirdos who are like, oh my God. It is bizarre to me, and I will never understand that. Yeah, I do. I think it's a really severe form of narcissism.
That's like people who go on Twitter and go, stop posting these photos. To me, I don't get that.
I don't get it
Because you have to
either.
like go find your stuff.
I know.
That's like me looking at gay porn and being like, "How? I can't believe I'm looking at this." It's like, but I'm the one. I searched it. Like I could just not look at it.
Right. Or if you really don't like a person, you can mute and or block them, so you don't have to see their stuff.
It's not that big a deal.
Which I've done to Matt Walsh. That guy is too much for me.
I mean, he likes controversy.
Yeah, he does. I know.
That's
but I
like-
was seeing his tweets and I was like, I can't see this anymore.
That's
So
like
I muted
Skip
him.
Bayless in sports. He's
I
just
know.
saying nonsense
I
for no
know.
reason.
Terry, thank you so much for the super chat. Terry, I guess I'll have to respect your life choices after all. Luckily, I adore the herb. Anyway, I love Nick when he gets going. Bless his cotton socks. Cotton socks. There, look at that.
Yo, how do we get off the sexy lesbian story?
Back to the sexy lesbian story. Oh, and I love that this guy too, though. He comes in here, he's like, I can't believe you feel this way. Sir, I have an OnlyFans. He's talking about how harmful porn is, and like, sir, I create the things that, like, why did you think that I would feel any other way? I don't understand. So Nick is gay. You can leave him for me now, Zia. Back to the lesbians. I feel like an entirely different person. She explained, I had so much more energy. I was excited about life.
For people who just joined, because just recap those stories.
Just to recap for anyone who has just joined, but this girl went off birth control and found out that she actually loves and is attracted to women. Well, dating, because she had been on birth control since she was 15. She went off of it when she was 30. She had always dated men and suddenly realized she wasn't attracted to men and she's only attracted to women. Brian, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. In the cold, cotton or wool socks work, but in heat, wool socks are best or no shows. Ooh, all right. I need to get me some fucking wool socks for the winter. Damn it. I can't stop. I have the mouth of a sailor. So it's interesting. I've never noticed that about myself because I was on birth control since I was 16.
Just read this, okay, for the photo.
Oh, okay. Within a month, she had started going on dates with women. The brunette soon after met Phoebe Chalker, 24, who she now has been dating for 6 months.
And look at them.
They are hot, by the way. These are not your average lesbians that you think of when you think of lesbians. These are porn lesbians. Look at how hot they are. My goodness. Where are they from? That's crazy. Wow. Good for them. It was love at first sight. Wool is itchy. Oh, I don't want itchy wool. Bonacood. Phoebe is the absolute love of my life. I couldn't be happier in a totally different dynamic being with a man. She's my best friend and I love every second I spend with her. I'm so happy for them. It breaks my heart to think I might have never happened if I was still on the pill. The love struck Aussie added. It's interesting, right? I know birth control. Scroll back up. Good Lord.
Okay.
They're just in great shape too. I'm also just, Nick's like, okay, calm down. They're also just in really good shape. So I'm looking from that perspective too. Wow. Yeah, they're in good shape. All right, time to go to the gym. Backhand's not a fan of the one in green. That's okay. When I was on the pill in relationships with men, I thought I wanted to settle down, have kids, and get married, she stated. But since coming off the pill, it's like my brain is so much clearer. That's not what I want at all. Oh my God, you guys, it's a conspiracy theory. Men created birth control to keep women docile. Just kidding. I feel like the pill can turn you into a dull person if you've been on it for too long. I think every woman should take a break from it if they want to and see how they feel. While Bonna still considers herself a little bit bisexual, she says she was now much more attracted to women. I hardly look at men anymore, she declared. It's actually hilarious. The sexual attraction to a guy is pretty much all gone. That is wild. Wow. I mean, good for them. The women's health specialist told news.com that it's interesting that Bona's sexual preferences apparently changed. There is research to suggest that the pill can change your choices of partner. But it is really interesting to change sex preferences, she stated. However, she has noticed massive personality changes among patients who have gone off of birth control. It isn't really surprising since there are millions of estrogen and progesterone receptors in the brain, she declared. So, I mean, really what you're doing is messing with your hormones when you're on birth control. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm sure it's prevented a ton of unwanted pregnancy, teen pregnancy, all that kind of stuff. Terry, thank you so much for the super chat. Sorry for torpedoing the stream. As always, I should shush. Jolly rude, unforgivable, un-English, thoroughly ashamed, letting the side down Tez. Terry, no. You're a goddamn gentleman and you're very sweet. And thank you so much for supporting the streams and the podcast. You are awesome. Thank you. And don't ever apologize. No more apologizing. You're so sweet. She was probably a lesbian to begin with. Yeah. And it obviously changed her hormones and her brain, whatever the hell it did. I was on birth control for a long time. It's funny. When I met Nick, though, I wasn't on birth control. I went back on it when we got together, but it messed me up so badly, I went off of it again. It was the scariest, most depressed. I had no issues with it before. No issues with it. Do we have another tickler? Oh, my God. Where is Tickle King? Where's Credo? We had another, well, you should. I'm just kidding, Bunjo. I'm just kidding, Bunjo. I know it's such a problem. I do it all the time. I'm constantly saying sorry for things I don't need to say sorry about. Someone will reach right next to me and say, excuse me, and I'll say sorry. I'm not even in their way. Yeah, I was just standing there.
Sorry or awesome.
Sorry or awesome. I say awesome all the time, too. I got to come up with another word. Jolly good. I think that's going to be my new one. I love it. Jolly good. Anyway, what the hell was I saying? Birth control. It made me so depressed, like scary depressed. Like the kind of depressed where I was like, oh, this is going to end up very, very bad for me. And I didn't realize what it was at first. And then I was trying to think about the only thing that was different was that I had just gone back on birth control. So I went off of birth control and like a week later, I took it out. I was using the NuvaRing. I took it out, and a week later, I was completely back to normal. It was wild. It was wild. So I probably won't ever go on birth control again. I just track my cycle and haven't had any issues since. Once I started tracking my cycle, you can't. Oh, I like brilliant. Brilliant. Oh my God, I'm going to start saying that. Thank you. Brilliant. When someone says that, it's a very Harry Potter-ish. It's English. I don't want to go on any birth control ever again. I've heard terrible things about the IUD as well. I'm good. I don't need it. You can only get pregnant like 4 days out of the month or something like that. You just got to try. And I know when I'm ovulating, so I'm good. No, Joshua, you're fine. I love my tickle friends. I have a few tickle followers, and they're lovely. It's just funny because I didn't realize what a fetish that was until recently. And it's hilarious. I never would have thought. Now they're coming out of the woodwork. I don't mind. So, do you have another story for us, Nick? Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. That'd be a cool last name. Brilliant. Yeah, I don't ever want to go on birth control again. And again, I don't need it. I track my cycle and I'm good. For better or for worse, he didn't mean to kick her to the curb. A Thai driver is being ridiculed online after accidentally leaving his passenger behind during a pee stop on Christmas Day, which forced her to walk over 12 miles to seek help. Oh no, you think he would have... Come on, that's an accident? You think he didn't realize after like a few minutes that there wasn't anyone in the car? The marriage testing mistake occurred. Wait, they're married after Buntum Chaemun, 55, and his wife Amune Chaemun, I don't know how to say that, Chaemun, embarked on a road trip at 3 a.m. Sunday to spend New Year in her hometown in the Maha Sarkham province. All was going swimmingly until her husband said he urgently needed to urinate and parked his car by the side of the road. Amune reportedly asked the other half why he didn't stop at a gas station, but when he didn't answer, she also decided to relieve herself in the jungle. Her hubby apparently didn't notice she had to go too. When the wife returned from her bathroom break, she saw that her husband had driven off without her, leaving her alone on the side of the road in the dark, Okay, I don't believe this for a second. He was sick of his wife's shit, and he left her on the side of the road. I bet you she was nagging him, or they were arguing or something before this happened, and he was like, God damn it, I can't take another second of this woman. I'm over it. Off I go. There's no chance in hell that he didn't notice that she wasn't in the car. I don't agree I don't think for a second. Yeah, it was not this was not a mistake. He saw an opportunity and took it. There's no chance in hell that he was like, got in the car and didn't see that the passenger seat was empty or even the back seat. Absolutely not. Oh, that's so funny. Did you read everyone? Yes, I did. Feeling lost and scared, she decided to walk the district of Cabinbury. After a seemingly endless trek, she arrived at the destination at 5 a.m., whereupon she reported to the local police station. However, her odyssey was far from over, as the stranded woman did not know her husband's number and had reportedly left her own phone inside a bag in the car. Reporters called the device over 20 times, but no one picked up. Yeah, this husband was done. At that point, the authorities attempted to contact her relatives instead. Amnue feared that if she couldn't get a hold of her husband or family, she would have to exchange her gold necklace for travel money. It wasn't until 8 a.m. that the authorities finally managed to get a hold of her absent-minded soulmate, that's one way of putting it, who by that time had driven all the way to Korat province, which is 100 miles away. You're telling me that for 100 miles, he didn't notice that she wasn't in the car and turn around to go back and look for her. This, man, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Upon hearing what he'd done, I can't. Is he blind? He quickly turned around to drive back to the Cabinbury and pick up his spouse. When asked how he could have driven so far without noticing her absence, the humiliated husband said he thought she was in the backseat sleeping the whole time. He apologized to his wife profusely upon his return. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Despite this epic act of forgetfulness, she said that they did not argue when he picked her up. She later revealed that they've been married for 27 years and have a 26-year-old son. Yeah, they didn't argue because he's smacking the crap out of her, and if she says anything, she knows that he's gonna beat the shit out of her. This isn't the first time a husband accidentally left his wife during a pit stop. In 2016, a woman was furious after her forgetful husband left her behind at a service station while driving from Brazil to Argentina. Different country. Wow. I can't. I love how they have that tag too as marriage advice. The only marriage advice I can get from that is don't do that. That's so wild. Oh my God. Oh, no. If I got into the car and Nick wasn't there, I would know it. Yeah, exactly. He was just thinking, it's finally quiet. It's finally quiet. What do we have here? What are these? Are these some... Ooh, confessions are fun. Okay. Ooh. All right, so this guy slept with a girl. This guy slept with a woman. She was married with kids, but whoring for male attention on the internet, posting nudes and expressing cuckoldry fantasies about her husband. She said she was a hot wife, but I didn't believe it. She was cheating on her husband and had a video of it. I pretended to be interested in it until she sent it to me. I got close enough to her until she gave me some info, which I used to track down her husband's Facebook. I sent him the cheating video. Turns out he had no idea, but consented to none of this. He divorced her and kept the kids. Last I've heard, she is a heroin addict now. I despise infidelity of any kind. She's getting what she deserves. Wow, this guy's been cheated on a few times, huh? Never seen someone get so worked up over this. Sweet Jesus. Yeah, he got like really involved. Damn, that's a lot. What if it is a hot wife situation and you completely misread it and you send it to the husband and the husband's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna jerk off to this later.
Oh, there actually was a story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great.
So there was a similar story to that where there was a couple just bought a house and they kept hearing, because one stayed home from work and they were hearing the neighbors like moaning, like, you know, real loud sex noises. I
read this story.
And then realized, wait a minute, one of them is not home right now.
I heard this story.
What is happening? Come to find out, it's like an OnlyFans situation where they're sex workers. Because the dude was like, hey, just letting you know, I'm hearing some noises, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, actually, we do this for a living. Oh, okay. Thinking that I'm gonna stumble into some huge controversy. You know, you're gonna get divorced. One of you is gonna get shot. I don't want to touch this. And
yep.
Yeah, no, it was all good in the hood.
Yeah, no, that's so funny. That's hilarious. That's the other thing I don't understand too, you know? It's, Reese, you have a Reddit post? I don't understand too, that again, of different relationships and stuff. Like, just because one relationship wouldn't work out for you doesn't mean it wouldn't work out for other people. My favorite is I see people post how if your husband or boyfriend is okay with you doing an OnlyFans, he doesn't really care about you. And that's the most interesting one I've heard so far. I don't understand how that adds up. I don't know. It's very odd.
From what I've seen, and I, you know, it's not everyone. The people who are against OnlyFans or sex work or anything like that seem to be miserable, and they love to just hate.
Yeah, they need something to hate.
And they always say, well, hey, you don't have a good relationship. You're a mess. I mean, all based on nothing. But then when you look at them, it's like they're literally just miserable people. I know you interact with them. I know you can't say names. I know there's been people who reached out to you being like, hey, I'm thinking about starting OnlyFans. I need some advice, right?
Yeah.
But these are the same people talking publicly going, OnlyFans is the devil.
I know.
And it's like, you're the person who just asked for help.
I know.
Like, what are you talking about?
It's interesting.
They're phony and they're miserable.
I don't believe any of that for a second. Whenever people hate on it so much publicly, I don't believe that they really people that talk about hating porn too. I don't believe that they don't watch porn.
Who go after the gays. Gotta get rid of the gays. It's like, because
you're gay.
You're gay. Like,
That's
there's
why,
nothing wrong with that.
gay.
But like, geez, man. How many
Yeah.
politicians have been caught with that one?
Tons of politicians who are trying to pass anti-gay legislature. Find out.
Like, I'm not one of them.
Yeah, you find out they're over there banging dudes, and you're like, oh man.
And it's like you've done content houses and stuff. And the OnlyFans people have been the most chill.
They're always the ones going to bed early, not cheating on their spouses, not getting drunk.
And the other ones who are against OnlyFans and the ones who are always saying a bunch of crap are doing drugs. They're cheating on their spouse during the thing when their spouse is there. Like, I know you can't say it, but I can say it.
I would
weird,
never
man.
out someone on the internet or name anyone anyway. Like, that's just not my style. I'm not into it.
Anyone who's out for a cause that's like crazy like that, they got some stuff going on.
And that's what I find interesting too. And look, I'm taking it to this place just because this is an interesting topic of conversation, and people are so divided on it, right? I have dated one of those. I dated a religious guy once. It was really bizarre. I'll never do it again. Obviously I'm married now, but I dated one of those religious guys who are so-called good guys who, you know, are working and wouldn't be okay with their partner doing that, and all this stuff. And, you know, like, he absolutely would never be okay with me having an OnlyFans in a million years. When we were together, he cheated on me. He treated me like crap. He was not a good partner. He didn't care about me. He didn't care about my feelings. He took advantage of me. It was a terrible relationship, and he was not a good person. And it's interesting. Now I'm in a relationship of someone who does care about me. He thinks about my well-being. He does things for me. And I just don't see how that correlates to having a good partner, where you're like, okay, all of these qualities that I look for in a relationship, well, this guy doesn't have them, but he doesn't watch porn, so he's a better partner. Like, what does that mean? Terry, thank you so much for the super chat. If I was hot, I'd do it. People may pay for me, goodness gracious, to put more clothes on or duvet perhaps in the dark. Terry, you are so down on yourself, but you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. I can see your picture, by the way. You are not a bad looking human being at all. Stop being so down on yourself.
You know what it's like? It's like those girls who are into horoscopes and astrology.
Yeah.
Which is
they base their whole relationship on that.
Which is all nonsense. Scientifically,
crazy.
There's nothing, you know what I mean?
Right.
If you want to have fun with it,
I don't mind.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But to actually base relationships on that
and let it control your life.
Literally insane.
And decisions.
And the other one is, if a guy is good with animals, right? Now, there's a difference between a guy being good with animals and abusing them. Obviously, that's bad.
Yeah, if someone abuses an animal, they're a psychopath.
It's not good. But to base off, well, hey, he has a dog, he must be a good person. And I love the meme. It's Hitler and his dog. And guess what? That dog loved Hitler. That dog was like, Hitler is the greatest dude. Yo, he plays sweats with me. He gives me food. This dude's all right. That dog had no idea. You can't base it off stuff like that.
Of course. Of course not. You base it off the type of person. And I see a lot. Most OnlyFans girls I know are married and in happy relationships. It's just, I don't think that. And look, I'm not saying that you're not allowed to want to date someone who doesn't watch porn. You absolutely are. That is, you're 100% within your rights to be like, you know what, this isn't for me. And I don't even think that's bad. I don't think that's bad. I just don't think it's a good barometer for finding a good partner, because they could not watch porn and still cheat on you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just because they watch or don't watch porn doesn't make them a good person. That's all I'm saying when it comes to that kind of stuff. Nick is looking for pictures of Hitler with his dog. They're everywhere. A dude was mad at his wife for banging her boss and coming home with something dripping out of somewhere. I said some stuff. Lo and behold, they were swinging for years. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. See, you never know. Wow, Nick hating on Hitler. I mean, he was a vegetarian. Right? Like, it's just bizarre. I don't know. It's just very odd. And again, I would never judge anyone for their life choices. I don't think someone who wants to be in a traditional marriage and doesn't want to sleep, I don't think they're bad people. I don't care what you do. If that's what you want to do and you're like, look, I'm not the type of person that wants to sleep around, don't. Absolutely don't sleep around. Don't do anything that makes you sad or makes you uncomfortable. And I would just never hate it. I just don't like hypocrisy. I think that's what bothers me. I don't like the hypocrisy of people publicly saying things, and then, when it comes right down to it, they do the same thing. But yeah, absolutely. People who treat their pets like shit are garbage people. A couple things that I will judge people on is how they treat animals and how they treat service workers. And like, people who work in, any service worker, I guess that also includes retail, but just also true. Nick's right. You can treat your dog great and still be a piece of shit. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like you have to get to know someone, and not everyone you get to know is going to be a good person. Not base it off the stars. And not base it off the stars, because that is not going to be a good barometer either. And not everyone's going to be a good person. I've dated plenty of crappy guys, and let me tell you, it doesn't make me hate all guys. I just think some guys suck. I never go out there and be like, well, guys this and guys that, and guys are the worst and blah, blah, blah. Like, I've dated crappy guys because there are crappy people in the world. Not everyone's going to be good, but you can't let that ruin the way you think of an entire gender. That's crazy.
I mean, those girls are out there. You see them on YouTube being like, men are the devil.
I
and
know.
They do this and they do that.
It's
blah,
so
blah.
bizarre.
It's like, that's great. You had some bad experiences, just like everyone. But you need to relax because you're miserable. What are you doing?
You're so upset.
We get it. You're upset. Some dude hurt you. He did some bad things. You need to move on. You
got to work on yourself, man.
Jesus
go to therapy, for the love of God.
Because then your life's never going to change. You're always going to be miserable.
Yeah.
If you believe all men suck, it's done. Your life's done. Mm-hmm. Unless you just don't want a relationship, which is fine.
Also fine,
but to spout off about all men are the worst and horrible and this and that and porn is bad and blah. It's like, just have a laugh. Have a gyro. Enjoy yourself.
Have a gyro. Enjoy yourself. Yes.
I take everything so seriously.
I know.
Yeah,
and look,
people suck.
there are certain things you should take seriously. I do think that there are certain things you should take seriously. But some of the stuff that people freak out about ain't it. Those aren't the things. I don't know, man. Gotta be.
It's funny because those same people look at you like you're an asshole.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people hate me.
I'm miserable, but you're an asshole.
Yep. And I'm 100% with Jay. Everyone should work in a service industry for 1 year to understand why respect and tipping is so important. 100%. The service industry sucks. And this was my favorite comment. Sorry, I know I keep taking this back to OnlyFans, but I just have been on Twitter a lot lately. So there's a lot that's been coming at me. And I'm like, oh God, so much. It's exhausting sometimes. But there's this one girl I follow. She's a comedian. Her name is Megan Graves. She's super, super liberal. I don't agree with her on everything. There are certainly things I disagree with her on. But as a whole, I love her. And I love a lot of stuff that she says. I worked in healthcare for 4 years. People are assholes when they want to be. Yeah, it's awful. And you should never treat your healthcare workers like shit either, by the way. I don't understand that. No, that's not her. She's a comedian. You might be able to find her on Twitter. That's her. She was talking about, oh my God, what was my original point? Talking about how sex work is work. Because it is. It is a job. It's a profession and people get paid to do it. And God knows I pay a lot of money in taxes. Thank you very much. And someone was like, oh, sex work is work. Tell that to someone who is a janitor or who works in the service industry. And she goes, yo, I worked in the service industry for years and that was more soul crushing than doing sex work. And then all the people in the comments were like, dude, I work in the service industry and I think sex work is work. Like you're trying to basically get other low paid workers to be like, oh, that's not work, when they're all like, dude, I would rather do that. And yes, it's still work.
That's insane. Anything you're putting time into and effort into is work.
Of course.
What are you talking about? Dude, I worked some crappy job. I worked at ShopRite at 15. That sucked. Drained my soul. GameStop. Now listen, the people I worked with at GameStop were great, but guess what? Customer service industry. Customers suck.
Oh, they're bad.
Horrible.
Customers are awful.
And people would just drop their kids off too, like it's a daycare.
That's so weird to me. You told me that.
Like,
that they just leave their kids there.
Just left. Why is their kid? I have a kid who's like 10, laying on the ground reading a Game Informer, and I'm just like, what is happening?
And also, like, it's wild to me that oh my God. They trust a random GameStop employee with their child. They're like, they'll be fine. Like, you don't know that person.
I'm 16. I'm 17.
Like, what? It's crazy.
This ain't camp?
Yeah, exactly. That's so wild. Backhand very sweetly is asking, how come the merch link isn't in the description below the stream? Let's make that happen.
You know why? Because it's more of a Twitch thing.
True, but we can still put it here.
No, we can. He's not wrong. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if more people know, because it's mainly just pictures of Zia's sister in jail, which the YouTube people really don't know about that.
But it's funny. I was actually talking to Jim last night, and he suggested maybe we don't sell those anymore because she could sue. She might not, but she might.
How could she sue on a public photo?
I don't know. We need to look into it.
Okay, you can sue what? The Frank Sinatra one, the Anthony Cumia one. Like, those are on shirts.
Are they?
Like,
from other people?
Now, I guess maybe the thing would be like, well, they're famous. I don't know the laws about that.
See, we'd have to look into that.
But it was a public news story.
Because she don't know. I haven't told her yet.
I don't know.
I'm scared to tell
her. Any lawyers in the chat?
I'm scared to tell her.
It's a photo from a news story about her going to jail. I put it on a T-shirt. What's up with that?
Terry, thank you so much for the super chat. Just before I toddle off to bed, all alone. No, not lonely. No hug, 2 years, 5 minutes, 1 day. Oh, well, I wanted to ask, how are you, Nick? Nick, Terry wants to hear from you. Get your cute butt back on the mic. He just says, I'm okay. He says, I'm okay. He's trying to make a dentist appointment because his TMJ is so bad, it's causing him bad headaches. So we're trying to figure that out. That's funny. Terry needs a hug. Someone needs to hug Terry. You can have a virtual hug, but I know that's not the same thing as a real hug. Owned a comic shop that had a sign up that all children would be sold to a pimp if unattended for more than 30 minutes. Love it. Yeah, I got some fucking meaty thighs on me. I'm very bottom heavy. I'm one of those people that I obviously don't have breastises, but I've always been very body heavy. Like, I don't have a giant ass, but for my size, I have more of an ass than you would maybe think and more thighs than you would think. But yeah. Yeah. What do we got? Do we got any more stuff? What time is it?
You do one more.
We do one more? Let's do one more. Ooh. We were 17 and in love when our son was born. We had practiced safe sex and she was born on birth control and we use condoms. I have a cousin that's a birth control baby. I quit school to work at the steel mill with my dad and provide for my family. At 18, I asked her to marry me and she said yes. We've been together ever since, 12 years ago now. Oh, that's cute. And we have 3 children together. But what she didn't know until recently is that I poked a hole in the condom. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever met and I wanted to be with her forever. And in my effed up teenage head, poking a hole in the condom was the way to ensure that she'd be in my life forever. Years later, I realized how shitty that was, especially since it worked. So I told her the truth. She laughed and said, I wasn't ever on birth control. I lied. Then we both laughed. Guess we trapped each other and we're both shitty people. God, I love her.
That's just...
I don't even know where to begin with that. What? I'm pretty sure the reason that I was born is because my mom said that she was on birth control when she wasn't. Yeah, that's, wow. Yeah, I guess they're both shitty. I guess good for them for finding each other and both being terrible. That's wild. Like, they're happy together. That's so wild. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Backhand's like, oh, that's cute. That's so wild to me. Aw. Reese is saying nice things about Chat and Nick and me. All 3 of us. Reese is a goddamn delight. He is a delightful human. Guys, that has been it for Sexy Sisters this week. This is, they're both psychos and they found each other, I guess. This has been a fun episode. We missed Jenna a lot this episode. We'll be very happy to have her back next week, but I still had a ton of fun. I'm glad you guys were here with me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so curious if I'm going to get any more comments of people being like, how could you promote porn and hookup culture? I didn't know you were like this. I've always had an OnlyFans. Well, not always. I'm also not promoting it. I just don't care if people do it.
That's what I love. Promoting is you saying free will, do what you want. That's insane.
I guess. I don't know.
Like, that's crazy.
Wild.
And also, you're not doing porn. I don't get that.
To a lot of people,
yeah, to a lot of people,
most people,
they're
it
nuts.
is.
But it's like, geez, like, come on. Like you're in some gangbang or something.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping with anyone.
So weird, man.
Yeah. That is a good point. Think of all the people they saved by being together. You're welcome, Bunjo. I knew you were coming back, so I'm like, Greg, we're leaving. Thank you guys so much again for watching. This has been fantastic. I also stream live on Twitch 3 nights a week. I'd love to add more nights to that, but I keep giving myself a fuller and fuller plate, so we'll see. I stream on Twitch as well. It's very interactive. It's super fun. It's twitch.tv/XiaLand, XiaLand. If you ever want to go check it out, please give me a follow there. If you liked this video, if you liked this live stream, if the VOD is up afterwards and you watch it and you're like, this is great, I enjoy this, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment. All of that helps out with the algorithm, and I appreciate it, and you guys are great. Thank you so much. Also, if you just stumble across this on YouTube and you don't know who the hell I am, and you're curious and you want to follow me on other things, it's at Xia_land, XIA_LAND on Twitter and Instagram. And if you click on the link in my bio on both Twitter and Instagram, all my links come up, including the good one. So go check it out. Bye, guys. Good night.